What are your thoughts there, Jerod Mayo, today, saying there will be changes? It's like a wake-up call. What do you think?
So again, so like every time he gets into one of these sort of things, and I can't even remember what the one was above last week, where he was talking about something as it pertained to the team, and I know what it was. It was Ramondre Stevenson's fumbling. You know, there's a possibility that we'll make a lineup change on Sunday. He sat one series, okay, and the words ended up being bigger than the actual action. So this is my concern, is that Mayo is so accommodating to the media. Again, and in and of itself, that's fine. And I understand the point on this. It's okay to share some information. Like, I could have lived without him telling me that Ramondre Stevenson was going to be benched for the start of the game. I'd have been okay just seeing it. I think that would have been a clear message of what the hell was going on. This I put in the same category. Well, there will be changes. We're going to put the people out there that are most dependable. Yet, you know what happens? They're the same team every week.
So you think he's just sort of playing to the crowd?
So I don't know if he's playing to the crowd or his actions aren't actually matching his words. You know, and when I say that, I don't know if he's necessarily doing it on purpose to curry favor or talk tough to the public as much as maybe just be nice to the media. But the bottom line is, if the behavior doesn't change, he looks like a clown. That's the thing. If he's going to sit there and say we had a penalty in the first place, you have got to discipline these guys in real time. Real time. Ramondre Stevenson fumbles, out of the game. You sit for 2 or 3 series or a quarter or a half. And if you want to do it between games, that's okay too. I would like to see it dealt with in real time. I don't feel like he does that. And the one thing I will say is he sounds agitated when he talks about it now. Like, he sounds a little more irritated. That could be a good thing at some point, because you have said we're sort of evaluating Mayo too. It's not just about the quarterback and the players. It's about the coaching staff, the personnel people. We're evaluating all of it. At some point, the light has to go on for Mayo that these guys will get me fired. And he's got to hold that against them. So, and when I say hold it against them, hold them accountable for it. If you play with your head up your ass and my job is in jeopardy as a result, I can't play you. Can't play you. And my job becomes in jeopardy when we lose. And if your head's up your ass, we're going to lose. So, you know, I'm not saying he's doing it selfishly is my point. But you got to really start digging in on this stuff. I don't feel like he's digging in.
So that wasn't my takeaway. I'm with you. I hear you. I take it as this is like their last chance to have a season, and they know it. And it's like an inflection point. That's a long trip to London. That's a long trip back. And the ownership obviously cares about these overseas games. They cared greatly about the Germany game. And I would assume this is along the same lines as that. And this is your last real beatable opponent?
That's probably what triggered it. Yep.
And so here you are. The season is off the rails, and I'm sorry, the rookie quarterback playing is not enough to save the feeling around the team. I mean, you can feel good about the rookie quarterback making some plays, but it hadn't made Jerod Mayo look any better. It's kind of made him look worse.
Exactly.
So this is kind of it, I think.
They have a very beatable opponent.
They have a team that's might be in, well, not as bad a shape of them, because Jacksonville certainly has more talent, but they're kind of quitting on the season, quitting on the coach.
There's more turmoil there.
They're about to make a change. Like, that's a team in a bad way. And it's I don't know how you're 5.5-point underdogs, but you are. Be that as it may, we all agree this is a winnable spot. And you can change your season around, which doesn't mean now you're going to contend for a Super Bowl, but you can start to climb back and gain some respectability. If you win this game, get some good vibes, a little momentum, and make some winning plays and clean up some mistakes, and then you just feel good about yourself on that plane ride home, and next thing you know, maybe there's another win there. Maybe at Tennessee becomes, you know what I mean? And you can start to string together some wins, which I think is important to them. I do. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I'll just agree to disagree. I know it's important to them. That's for sure. It's important to Jerod Mayo, and it should be important to Jerod Mayo. So here it is. We're making changes. Wake up call. That's what I think he's doing.
I hope so.
And if this doesn't work, woof. I mean, talk about now what? Now what do you do? You've gone to the rookie quarterback. You've made your changes. You've put them on notice. There's your wake-up call. You can't beat this team after pushing, I guess, all your chips into the middle of the table or whatever chips you do have. Then what? Then what are we looking at?
Exactly. You're looking at 2-15 or 1-16.
And I'm sorry. There is a difference between 5-12 and 2-15.
Definitely.
There just is. It's better for you to be 5-12. And if you don't believe that, then I can't help you.
Listen,
we'll just agree to disagree.
Yeah, if you become 2-15, 1-16, you are a laughingstock. That's really that just sinks to a new depth. You become inept. People look at you and go, "Wow, you're really bad." And you're not just bad; you're really bad.
I'm pounding the same themes I've pounded all year, but I've been exceedingly consistent on this, as opposed to everyone else. I took great value in that opening day win over Cincinnati. I thought that was a great thing for you, and I thought it would be a harbinger of things to come. And it wasn't. And I told you then. Well, look, I got an email that sort of encapsulates it. David Weymouth, Felger. Are you saying you are happy about you are happier? Are you saying you are happier about a meaningless win over an overrated Bengals team than you are about discovering you may in fact have your quarterback of the future? Big Jim might be interested to sample in something that you're smoking. David Weymouth.
It's true. Sounds powerful.
This is exactly
It's electric.
This is exactly what I'm saying. I was absolutely happier. And this isn't revisionist history in real time. I was accused of overplaying the win, but I thought that was really valuable. Mm-hmm. That they took the coaching, played hard, were ready to go, and won a game on the road against what we thought was a good opponent. Whether they are or not doesn't matter. At the time, that's a good opponent on the road, opening day. They took the coaching, they played hard, they were ready to go. That was good. And let me tell you something, people. That's the happiest you were all season.
Oh, I enjoyed it too, but it turns out it was a mirage. And I would rather know that they might have the quarterback of the future than that measly win, now 6 weeks removed, 5 weeks removed.
So let me go back and let me process that again.
I'm basing this off what the emailer said. That one win was more important to you than finding the quarterback of the future.
Well, no, I mean, no one's saying that. But I think that's a false equivalency.
Well, exactly right. Because again, how do you know that you have the quarterback of the future?
I still don't know that I have him, but I feel the same way about Drake Maye today as I did before the game. That's Drake Maye. Mm-hmm. Like what? I don't understand this. People like, oh, we found out we have a guy. You didn't. That's disingenuous. Unless you're one of these people that never watched any of his college games or any of his stuff before the draft.
Even the preseason.
But smart people who follow all this stuff. Exactly, even the preseason. That's how he played at North Carolina. He made big plays and gave some away. And that's how he played in the preseason. So what do you mean? Like you needed that game?
Yeah, because he could go in there and look like Trey Lance. Again, for all these months you've railed against quarterbacks that have gone third overall, he could get in there and look completely shook. He didn't. So that was encouraging.
I mean, yes, I suppose, but I didn't look at that and go, oh, now I know I got the guy. I guess I know I don't have a puddle, but you can also get off to a slow start then. But you like to throw at me that Peyton Manning went 2-14 and 3-13, and so you never know. That's all still there. I just think you'd be in so much better shape if you had closed out that Seattle game. You've had 3 really winnable games.
Totally.
I mean, really winnable games. That Seattle game you should have won. You had it in your pocket. And that Miami team, I mean, come on. Just a halfway decent performance beats that Miami team in that spot. You'd be in so much better shape today if you were at 3-3 and Drake Maye had not seen the field. Because you still have Drake Maye. You can still draw him into the lineup. But at 3-3, you know what that tells me? Your players are taking the coaching. Jerod Mayo has a clue. Elliott Wolf actually found some guys who know what they're doing. And you're putting together a little something. Nothing grandiose, but a little something. And now Drake Maye comes onto a team that's done a little something and has gotten some positive results and have taken the and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You still have Drake Maye. Drake May's no different today than he was 3 days ago. He's the same guy.
I know. That's how I feel about it too.
So
really.
this thing, like, you discovered, no, I would not rather have a 16-10 win over Cincinnati on the opening day rather than knowing I have of course I'd rather know I have a franchise quarterback. Now you know.
No, you don't. See, that's the thing too. Is there's the way that email was written. There's been this definitive judgment on the quarterback. We're not going to have that for a while. We don't know that yet. What we know is he has raw ability, which, to your point, we knew in the preseason. We knew at the draft. The raw ability is apparent. He can throw. He can run. He feels like a good kid. Like I will say, the thing at the podium, is something that new in him that I hadn't seen. Great. But that doesn't mean he's the answer. We don't know that yet.
And I have way more questions about Jerod Mayo and Alex Van Pelt and DeMarcus Covington, who might suck too, and Elliott Wolf, who's just done a terrible job. I have way more questions about them than I do about your rookie quarterback, whether he played last week or not. So I'm not coming off of this. I said this before the fact. And if you listened before the season began, I'm saying the exact same things. I told you then. I'd much rather have a 16-10 win with Jacoby Brissett than a 20-point loss with Drake Maye throwing 3 touchdowns but committing 3 turnovers. Drake Maye is coming. He's going to play, and he's going to play this year. You don't want them to develop other things? And let me tell you, you know who agrees with me? They do. The team does. Jerod Mayo does. He wants to win. They want to win. That's why he's put them on notice this week. There will be changes. It's like a wake-up call, he said today. So I don't know. The funny thing is, here come changes, and no one's going to notice because they're going to replace Harold Fenefesi with Harry Schmedlap. They're going to replace one guy you've never heard of with another guy you've never heard of. And so it's not going to land with us because we're going to watch the game and go, I don't know who that is, but I didn't know who the previous guy was either. Like, I've already forgotten who was across their offensive line.
One nobody for another.
Right? So, like, it's not going to be dramatic to us, but internally, fine. Okay, fine. Sit some guys down, hold some guys accountable, cost them their jobs, put them on notice, wake up call, go win a game, come home, feel better about yourself, and scratch together some wins. And you want me to get behind Drake Maye? I'll get behind Drake Maye if he starts winning some games and you just claw some stuff out. But if you lose this one, especially after now, Jerod Mayo sends out the wake-up call, and they all still sleepwalk through a game, what does that say? Where are we headed then?
Yeah, bad sign.
Because I guess, unlike some of you, I'm sorry, I don't find much value, and I don't take much out of losing by 20 points but having my rookie quarterback run around in garbage time and make some plays. I don't think there's a lot of value to that. I don't personally. I know a lot of you disagree with me.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.